Hewitt from ModaMob. We're here at the newest location of the Drybar in Los Angeles on 3rd Street. We're with Alli Webb and she's sharing with us some tips on how to get the perfect blowout.
So one of the tips to doing a great blowout on yourself is making sure when you put the product through, then you go through and brush it through evenly. So I'm going to use a little hot toddy, the heat protectant, first in her hair. You don't need a lot, a little bit goes a long way. And make sure you focus on the ends. And then some mousse, Southern Belle volumizing mousse, just to give her a little bit of volume and texture when we blow her out. And again, I'm putting this all in before I brush her out so that I make sure it goes through her hair evenly. Another good tip is to, when you start combing out hair, especially if there's some knots in it, is to start at the bottom and work your way up. You can even break your sections up a little. You want to make sure that you're using a really great shampoo and conditioner, especially for the shampoo. When you're giving yourself a blowout that you want to last, you want to make sure that you get your hair super clean. That's going to help you get the volume and the longevity out of your blowout. So the next thing that is really important is sectioning. Making sure that you're working in clean sections is so key. So you also want to make sure you have clips. I always start my blowouts in the front. That's how we do it at Drybar. I think it's the best way to go. So I'm just going to kind of get rid of this hair, move it away for a while.
Do you recommend rough drying the hair first a little bit before you start your blowout to
get
the excess water out?
I will rough dry a little bit, but since I'm not working on this hair right now, I'm going to leave it intact and wet. So before I get to it, I'll rough dry it a little bit, but not too much. You want to be careful with rough drying that you don't overly rough dry because your hair has memory, and if you rough dry too much, you'll lose the ability to manipulate the hair. As you can see, we're getting a lot of curl out of her hair, and that's totally just by using the brush. Working in vertical sections, rolling up each section vertically and letting the heat hit it, and then letting it cool off for a second in that position, and then pulling it out, and you get a nice wave. And again, it's all with the brush. I'll point out too that you can see the section I made is pretty clean. You see that line. So you just want to make sure when you're doing your own blowout that you're working in pretty clean sections that are about this big, about an inch to 2 inches. Just putting a little hairspray as I go to that section. While it cools, it can get a little bit of hold out of it. I'm going to start in the back at her nape now and work my way up to the crown. So I'm going to just take not that much hair, make sure again I'm working in a clean section, and then move all this hair back up and out of my way. I'm using this size kind of medium round brush because her hair is longer. If you had shorter hair, you'd want to use a smaller brush, a smaller barrel. And the reason that you want to use a round brush is because then it gives you like a lot of nice body and flow to the hair. If you were using like say a paddle brush, you wouldn't get nearly as much volume and lift as you would with a round brush. And just to get a little bit more hold, I'm gonna go ahead and spray the sections that I just put that curl in just to help them stay a little better. Whenever you're using a Velcro roller, you want to over direct the hair forward and then roll it back in just to get that little bit of volume and curl to kind of hold while I do the rest. I'm going to do a couple more in her crown area just to give her a little bit of extra volume and lift. Since it's just been blown out with the blow dryer and brush, it's always a good time to set it so it'll cool off in this shape, in this position, and that'll help set the hair. She's got a nice little bit of curl and volume, but I want to add a little bit more. So before I take this down, I'm going to just go through it with the 3-day bender just to give it a little bit more. So I'm just kind of going through and picking up random sections. I feel like you never want curls to look too perfect. doing the back of your hair is always really challenging. Having a mirror set up in your bathroom where you can see the back of your hair will do wonders. So as you can see, all those ends are nice and tucked in. And that will help, you know, to give the ends like a really smooth look. Now, that we have all these curls intact, I'm gonna take down the Velcro rollers. And whenever you put any kind of rollers or pin curl sets or anything in your hair, you wanna make sure when you take them out that you get rid of all the sections that you end up getting from doing that. So I'm gonna put a little chaser, which is our kind of like cream shine. I mean, you can kind of see there's a little bit of shine in there. And then also I like to add a little hairspray on top of it for just a little bit of like stickiness and grit. And then just go back through her hair. Go through and twist some pieces. I hate to use the word scrunch, but just to kind of get the ends a little tousled. And then just go through and twist out some of the curls. Voila!
Perfect.
Ta-da!
This is the nearest Drybar location near you, and for more beauty tips, go to ModaMob.com.